Hello everyone, this is Brett and thank you for tuning in. Today's video is going to be showing 10 of my favorite reissues of 2023, and if you're looking for my best albums of the year feature, I'll post a link for that in the description, so be sure to check that out as well. 2023 was an incredibly fruitful year for reissues and box sets, things like that. So I had a hard time narrowing this down to just 10. But let's kick things off here. I'm not ranking these in any particular order. I'm gonna start off by showing 3 jazz records to kick things off. One of them being one of my favorite guitar players, Grant Green. This is Green Street. I think this was his second album. Came out as part of that Blue Note classic vinyl series. Sounds great. Has the Thelonious Monk track Round About Midnight on there, and it's done as a trio. Recorded on April 1st, 1961. One thing I always find fascinating about Grant Green is it seems to happen like on at least one track on every album where he'll play this lick and he'll keep repeating it, where it catches you off guard because you're assuming either your record is skipping or the CD skipping or whatever it may be, but then you hear the bass line still walking through the changes in the background, so you know it's an intentional little fakie. But I love that about Grant Green. So definitely check this one out, Green Street. I think it just came out in December. Second, another one, this came out I think back in March. This is Empyrean Isles from Herby Hancock. This was his fourth album, came out back in 1964. Also part of that Blue Note classic vinyl series. Sounds great. An all-star lineup there with Ron Carter on bass, Tony Williams on drums, and then Freddie Hubbard on cornet. Has the classic Herbie Hancock pen track, Cantaloupe Island. So, Herbie Hancock, Empyrean Isles. And thirdly, Art Pepper meets the Rhythm Section. This is the stereo reissue that came out on Craft Recordings. I think it sounds fantastic. This was recorded on January 19th, 1957. Once again, another all-star lineup. You got Red Garland on piano, Philly Joe Jones on drums, and the great Paul Chambers on bass. And that was the same lineup that played on like Cookin', Round About Midnight, Relax, and Milestones, all with Miles Davis. So excellent. Art Pepper meets the Rhythm Section. All right, and next up, this is a CD box set that came out, and if you've watched my channel, you know I'm a huge Thin Lizzy fan. And this is the reissue box set for the Live and Dangerous. This is an 8 CD set, only available on CD. And what it is it's different shows from the tours that were compiled to make that classic Live and Dangerous album. And it sounds incredible, and it just shows you how great of a live band Thin Lizzy were. So here's the little book that folds out that houses all the CDs. So yeah, 8 of them as I mentioned, and then it has a hardcover book which goes through details on it. And yeah, there's been a lot of Thin Lizzy reissues and box sets. And this one I had to have. So I'm not sure how available this is anymore, because when I got it, it was already like sold out everywhere. But that made my list. Live and Dangerous. Next up, classic 90s album from one of my favorite bands of that era. This is the second album from Ned's Atomic Dustbin, Are You Normal? Long overdue for a reissue. This is the Music on Vinyl reissue, and they had done Godfather, their debut, a few years earlier. And Music on Vinyl always does a fantastic job on these. Great artwork, packaging, jacket, and they always sound great. So Ned's Atomic Dustbin, if you're unfamiliar, lots of great stuff. They were really known for having 2 bass players. But the songwriting is always just top-notch, catchy, and great from that early 90s alternative era. Next up, we've been really fortunate to get some of the reissues from the Cranberries, besides their first 2 records. So this year we just had, or 2023, we had To the Faithful Departed, their third album, which came out back in 1996. And then back for Record Store Day back in April of 2023, their 5th album, Wake Up and Smell the Coffee. The only thing we're missing from that first 5 album run is their 4th album, Bury the Hatchet. So perhaps we'll see that coming this year. But Cranberries, a great band. And next up, another one, long out of print, super hard to find originals. This is Brenan Perry, Eye of the Hunter. Brenan Perry, if you're unfamiliar, founding member, singer, guitar player, multi-instrumentalist of Dead Can Dance. This was his first solo album, which came out back in 1999. And 4AD reissued it excuse me, in 2023. And they included a bonus live concert too. So it has a bunch of tracks from the Dead Can Dance canon, as well as some covers and from Brenan Perry's solo album. So Eye of the Hunter. Next up, we got 3 House of Love reissues in 2023. House of Love is a band that's kind of hard to describe, kind of cross a lot of different genres. I just think of them kind of as an alternative band. Got their start in the mid to late 80s. And so this year, their Butterfly album called House of Love reissued. Babe Rainbow, I think Babe Rainbow came out in 92. So good. You Don't Understand, the opening track is just outstanding, and the last song, I think it's called Your Eyes, is so good. And then 1993's lesser known, Audience with the Mind. So excellent stuff as well. House of Love. Right, another just batch of reissues from 4AD. Lush. So we got Spooky, their debut from 92. We got Split from 94. And the final album in that original run, 1996's Love Life. Lush is also another band that crosses a lot of different genres, kind of dream pop. Last album was a little bit more in the Britpop territory. You have Jarvis Cocker guesting from Pulp, guesting on this one. It's so great to have Split, because that one was so difficult to find, and in some ways this is my favorite Lush album. But Spooky, classic, produced by Robin Guthrie, the Cocteau Twins. I saw them back on the tour for this album back in 1992. So definitely check out Lush if you're unfamiliar. Next, loving these cult reissues that came out. I did a cult ranking video and talked about the need for some of these to get reissued, and then just shortly after it, we had gotten the self-titled album from 1994, which was kind of a bit of a departure in their sound, and then 1991 Ceremony, which followed the huge album Sonic Temple. So these super hard to find 90s albums from the Cult, back in print. Double records done on Beggar's Banquet. The Ceremony one is on blue and red vinyl. But they also did reissues, I think, of Sonic Temple and maybe Electric and Love. So most of their early work you can get. And I know Dreamtime is actually an upcoming reissue, their debut album as well. And I'll leave a link for that cult ranking video in the description as well. So there it is. I think that covered just about everything. 10 of my favorite reissues of 2023. Curious to hear what you guys picked up in the realm of reissues this year, whether they were on CD or vinyl or whatever. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with something new shortly. So thanks for watching. Bye.